Hello everyone, my name is Swanee, and for today's video, I've got something pretty game-changing for Palworld to show you all. Now, I did a lot of research. I checked YouTube and Reddit for like 2.5 hours last night to make sure that no one else has posted about this, and I've not seen anyone talk about this yet. So to my knowledge, I'm one of the first people to discover that you can do this in Palworld. So once you inevitably see this pop up on like 5 million other YouTube channels, just remember that you saw it here first. So what is it that I discovered in Palworld? Well, last night I was playing around 1 in the morning, and I accidentally discovered the most overpowered thing that you can do in Palworld. So you may be thinking, is it some sort of PAL special ability? Is it some sort of weapon that you can get? Well, no, it's not any legendary PAL, it's not any legendary schematic for like a gold weapon or anything. The most overpowered, broken thing you can do in Palworld is hit the crouch button. Now hear me out. I know it sounds crazy, but last night I was goofing off. I was just playing in my own free time, and I was in a dungeon, and I accidentally just bumped my controller, and I crouched, and I got underneath of this Grintail, and then the Grintail just wasn't attacking me, so I just chipped away at its health and killed it. But that had me thinking. I was like, okay, well, something obviously happened here where the Grintail sort of bugged out and it didn't know where I was. So I wanted to test this out with a different boss. So I went to a Valet and I went to the boss encounter. I got straight up underneath of it and crouched, and to my surprise, it worked again. I was able to just sit underneath of this Valet and hack away at its health and then kill it. So then I was like, okay, maybe it's just a coincidence. It's happened twice. I'm going to go try it with a Verdash. And it happened again with the Verdash. So then I did it with a Quivern and a Mamorist, and it worked for both of those as well. So then I tested it with like 5 more other bosses, and I kept replicating it over and over and over. All you have to do is go up to a boss, hit the crouch button, and try to like forcefully walk yourself underneath of them. And then they'll just bug out and let you attack them. So this is great if you just want to go through and kill the bosses, or if you want to capture these bosses. So, just go underneath of them, hack them away until they're very low on health, and then you can use your PAL spheres to capture them easily. So after testing it on multiple bosses, I was like, okay, well, it works on these bosses, but will it work on the legendary PALs? So I went to Anubis, and I played around a little bit. Anubis was kind of finicky because he has his like instant transmission move, so he will dodge your bullets, but if you get straight up underneath of him, you can hack at him with a sword and he's not going to teleport out of the way. So if you're trying this with Anubis, don't shoot at him, but you can smack him to death. So it does work on Anubis. So then I went to Jetragon, who is, the most legendary of all the PALs. He's the best flyer in the game, and it worked on him too. So then I went over to Frostallion, and I got straight up underneath Frostallion, and it worked on Frostallion. So it even worked on the legendary PALs. So that got me even more curious as to if it will work on the tower bosses. So I went to Zoe and Grisbolt, and it worked on them. And then I tried it on Axel and Orsurk, and I was able to get straight up underneath them as well. So it does in fact also work on the tower bosses. So last night at 1 in the morning, I accidentally discovered a game-breaking exploit that lets you kill pretty much any PAL boss in the entire game with ease. Now, it does struggle a little bit with the flying PALs, like if there's a PAL that likes to just hover up in the air as you attack it, those ones are a little harder to get to work because, they just reposition if you get underneath of them. So it might not work on some of the flying PALs, but anything that's on the ground, especially the bigger, bulky PALs, those ones are going to be easy to get it to work with. And then I was double checking. I did this on Steam and it worked like 90% of the time. Then I went and tried it on the Series X on the Game Pass version, and the Game Pass version is a little bit harder to get this to work, but I was able to get it to work. So here's footage of me doing it on Xbox. I got it to work on the Relaxaurus, but I will say it is a lot harder to replicate on the Xbox Game Pass version. But on Steam, I was able to do it like every single time. So yeah, I accidentally discovered this last night, and I just wanted to share it all with you guys. I know it's a bit exploitive, and it's kind of cheating. So if you're doing this just in a single-player server, and you're just doing it, you know, because maybe you're struggling with a certain boss or something, you know, everyone plays differently, have fun with it. But if you're playing in a public server I would avoid doing this just because, you know, it's kind of cheating or whatever. So I just wanted to get this out there and let you guys know about my discovery, and you know, you just want to let you know that you've seen it here first before it pops up on like 5,000 other YouTube channels. But that is going to do it for me, guys. I'm going to end this video with some gameplay of me trying this out on different bosses so that you guys can, you know, get an idea of how this works. Sometimes the bosses aren't going to cooperate and they're just going to try to run away from you. Just keep on the pursuit. Just keep trying to force yourself underneath of them with the crouch button. Sometimes I found that sliding kind of gets the job done. In a couple of these clips, you can see it took me a couple of tries, but keep at it and you will get it to work. So that's going to do it for me, guys. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications. That way you guys don't miss out on any future Palworld videos. If this video helped you out, then please consider giving it a thumbs up. It's greatly appreciated, and I will talk to you all next time.